Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to day two of our Cluster 4 Info Days. It's great to see so many of you joining us online again, and a warm welcome as well to those who are with us for the first time today. Just a quick practical reminder, today's sessions are once again live streamed via WebEx and recorded. The recordings will be uploaded to the event webpage shortly after the event. Today's agenda is organized around several key destinations shaping Europe's digital future. We'll start with the data destination, focusing on secure and agile data infrastructures, cloud edge connectivity, and trustworthy AI services. We'll then move to the digital emerging technologies destination, covering advances in AI, robotics, quantum, photonics, semiconductors, and other enabling technologies that support Europe's strategic autonomy. In the afternoon, we'll touch on the human-centric innovation destination with a look at virtual worlds and Web 4.0, before closing the day with horizontal sessions offering practical guidance on participation, proposal preparation, and Horizon Europe processes. But to kick off the day, I'm very pleased to pass the floor to Thibaut Kleiner, Director for Future Networks at DG Connect of the European Commission. Thibaut will share his opening remarks and set the scene for today's sessions. Thibaut, over to you.
Thank you very much. Good morning to all, and very pleased to welcome you for this session, this information day on the 2026 goals of our Cluster 4, which is on the industry, digital and space. And this is the work program 26-27, the last work program actually in our current budgetary cycle. And today we will be presenting the 2026 goals, and this relates to digital technology. So you will hear this morning about some of the specifics for these digital goals for 2026, and my expert colleagues will tell you more about this. You will see that we cover all digital topics in detail, and this should provide you a comprehensive overview of what we are looking for in each of the topics. Do not overdo it with AI, if I may say, as an advice. I mean, we see it, of course, but we can also build on that when preparing the proposals. And just to help you, in order to organize your consortium, I wanted just to give you a bit of context, because as you know, Horizon Europe is also designed in a way that it fits with our political priorities, with our policies. And that's important also for you to get the high scores that you're looking for. So first of all, the overall architecture of our activities is very much reflected in what we call the Digital Decade Policy Program. This gives you the overall policy framework for digital. In this, we have a number of objectives, a number of quantitative targets for the digital transformation, with Horizon targeting 2030 as a delivery date. And all the investments we are trying to organize in that context made through also this work program, because the work program is meant to relate, to connect, to serve these targets, these objectives for 2030. So it's a good tip maybe to have a look at this overall concept and why we are doing these policies. Also, we want to make sure that the projects resulting from the calls and the topics you will hear from today, they should enable and develop the technologies that will make the transformation, the digital transformation in Europe, according to our vision, to our values, what also Europe is specific about. And that's also important to say that we also look at greener digital technology. So don't forget about this overall aspect, the values we defend in Europe, what we are trying to achieve through technology. So now if we look at the particularity of this work program 26-27, it's the last one. So in a way, it is about continued support of ongoing initiatives. So it's following up, if you want, on what happened in the past years, but there are also new priorities. So if I give you some examples, in terms of the continuity, you will see in the work program that we will have, again, support for connected collaborative computing, what we call the 3C Network Initiative. We already had something in the work program 2025 to support large-scale pilots that bring together network data processing so that we build this open telco edge cloud platform. And now in 26, 27, we will focus not on the supply side, because that was done in a way in 25, but we will support really the demand side. So this is about the development of sector-specific applications and services that will be powered by this emerging 3C infrastructure. So that's one example of a topic in continuity with the past. There are others. For instance, for the Open Internet Stack initiative, the work program 2025 supported the creation of a catalog or library of open source solutions, including some solutions addressing the 3C ecosystem, so same topic as what I was mentioning, but also providers of vertical activities like operators, cloud providers. And now in 26, 27, you see that we continue on that track, but this time we want to enlarge the stack, enlarge the repertoire to other open source solutions. So again, some continuity. Similarly, for a virtual world, the work program 25 was the moment we launched really the first coordination and support action in support of the virtual world partnership. Now it has been established and we are very happy about this. So just a few months ago. So for 26, 27, we continue again on virtual world and we want to support this partnership with outreach activities, really to strengthen the ecosystem. And at the same time, so you see there will be things in continuity. So good to look at what has been achieved, which were the projects that were selected for this work program 2025. But we will also have an area of new initiatives. And you will see again that they are linked to our policies. They are linked to ongoing areas of activity. The most important is probably linked to the AI continent action plan. This is really the flagship at the moment at the level of the DG Connect and the Commission. It's really about setting out the EU's distinctive approach to AI in all its dimensions. So really AI infrastructures, what we call AI factories and gigafactories, but also access to high quality data, AI algorithm, talent, and of course, compliance with our regulatory framework, including the AI Act. So that's really, if you want, in a nutshell, the philosophy of our European approach. And we want to shape these AI technologies, these infrastructures, this algorithm. We want them to be secure. We want to preserve our values, our democratic outset. And of course, we want to make sure that individuals can remain autonomous in the choice on the world stage. So you will see that as a result, we have a series of topics linked with AI. One of them is also linked to our new strategy, the Apply AI strategy. This time it's about vertical sector. So what we sometimes call vertical AI is about how you use AI and you develop an AI first policy so that you enhance the competitiveness and the strategic abilities of sectors in industry, in automotive, in medicine, in health, and so on, to really use AI to boost their competitiveness. And this is also very relevant for SMEs. Similarly, a big initiative we recently launched was the Resource for AI Science in Europe, what we called RAISE. This is a virtual European institute for the development and the use of AI by European scientific community. And the idea is that through this institute, we pool strategic resources, including funding, compute, data, and talent. And we have now the first pilot for the AI in science. It was launched now in 2025. And in 2026-27, we will see the first pilot for the Science for AI strand. So again, we have there a lot of continuity, but also new links with these initiatives. Two more I wanted to mention so that you have the full overview and the full picture. The quantum strategy. Quantum, I don't need to say it, it is really the revolutionary technology of the future. Europe is quite well placed in quantum, and we want really to increase our sometimes the lead we have, and we want to have this global leadership in quantum technologies by 2030 again. So we have now a specific focus on translation of European research leadership into quantum industrial applications. So really, you will see that the topics in the 26-27 work program in quantum, they really look at specific market scalability. That's really an important angle. And last but not least, I wanted also to flag the data union strategy. This is, the idea that we need now to mobilize data in a way that is specific and that can fuel our AI, the artificial intelligence, with high quality data, making sure that businesses have access to the data they need to innovate. Again, this is really a promising area for Europe. We have a lot of industrial data in the EU. Let's organize it so that it can really develop these AI models that will make a difference in terms of competitiveness, where you have reliability, where you have really the ability to make agile data market and services, and you will find several topics to support this objective. So, dear participants, I could go on. We have all these very exciting areas in the digital sector, all these policies that we continue supporting, and I should really underline that we have really high expectations for this work program 26-27, and the projects in 26. We really count on you that you will make a difference. I think that we speak a lot about our dependencies at the moment. We realize that we are not always on the top of everything in terms of the digital leadership, but we have immense talent. And I think we count on the projects to cover the gaps, to address our policies, and to make sure that we are leading in the digital future. So that's what I wanted to say, giving you a little bit of a broad overview. I hope that this is helpful to make you understand how everything fits together, if I may say, and you will hear from my colleagues more in detail. So with this, I would like to conclude my opening statement, and now give the floor to the moderator of the next session, to Maria, and she will guide you through the first of the three digital sessions. They are grouped by destination, so that you can find your way also in what we published, and it is focusing on the first batch of topics on destination, developing an agile and secure single market and infrastructure for data services and trustworthy artificial intelligence services. Quite a long title, but essentially it's about leadership in data and AI. So with this, I would like to conclude and really encourage you to interact and to listen to the advice of my expert colleagues. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your insightful remarks, Thibault. It was a very nice opening. I will continue now, starting with our first destination on developing an agile and secure single market and infrastructure for data services and trustworthy artificial intelligence services. Our first speaker is Jean-Luc. I will invite him to talk about open internet stack sovereign solutions. Let me share my screen. And the floor is yours.
Thank you, Maria. Good morning, everyone. Jean-Luc Dorel, I work in DG Connect, and I will cover, if you can go to the next slide, sorry. I will cover the data 02 and data 03 topics, which are belonging to the telco edge continuum set of priorities. First, focusing on the data 02, which is the Open Internet Stack Sovereign Solutions topic. This is part of the Open Internet Stack Initiative, which is a new initiative that started in Work Program 25, for which we have announced the first projects to be funded just yesterday, by the way. And this year, we will open a new topic, which plan to expand this first round of projects. And what is at stake here is that we have in Europe a very rich ecosystem of providers on one end, but also a very rich ecosystem of open source communities that have been developing projects over the last years, and notably under the impulse of the Next Generation Internet initiative. And we need to move these projects into solutions that are deployable by this ecosystem of 3C providers and verticals. Here we mean that there are a range of people that deploy technology, and we want to address all these needs of this ecosystem. And for that, what we want at the end is that there is, by this ecosystem of providers, a rich ecosystem. Sorry, we are still in the previous slide. We have a credible alternative and choices for companies, citizens, governments. We have technologies that allow easy deployment. This is very important. We need to invest in easy to deploy technology and technology for ensuring this scalable deployment. And we want to ensure network effect. By what? By interoperable solution, by pushing for standards and ensuring a decentralized solution that can bring together users from different platforms. In terms of the budget is 20.5 million for this topic. We expect between 2 and 3 projects to be funded, hence the EU contribution per project is 7 to 10 something. In this call, we propose to make use of financial support to third party up to 80%, precisely to connect with communities of open source developers. This is an option, it's a maximum that is offered by the topic. In terms of scope, the work program look for addressing 3 areas, technology area: the network and transport technology, sovereign operating system and firmware, including smartphone, and open source software productivity and supply chain technology. In all these 3 areas, there are a very rich set of communities, of projects in Europe, and there are technologies that are existing. So the scope is this one. Next slide, please. So now what we expect from the applicants, and this slide is again scope. It's not, there is a mistake on the top. So what we expect from the applicants is that they will devise a plan that will ensure that those solution as the technology for ensuring efficient deployment. That's a key aspect of the call. They will detail, sorry, the tools for development, integration, testing, deployment, and uptake of and operational activities for open source, and how this can be integrated and adopted in use case, notably verticals. The proposals, the applicants will have to demonstrate 3 things: that there is a technical maturity of the starting point, that there is a community behind with a critical mass, and that there is a case of use. Now, beyond that, in addition, applicants will have to show that they are part of the internet stack, so that their solution will be able to be cataloged, searched, available, and easily available through app stores, and align with the EU regulation. The applicant should detail what sort of previous projects they rely on, develop synergy with other topics, the Work Program 25 Open Internet Stack area, the 3C environment, as well as the virtual world and Web 4.0, which has a similitude in terms of open source. And of course, other like-minded initiative in the same solution perimeter. Finally, the applicant should devise a strategy for how for ensuring a future to their solution. So in terms of viability, maintenance, and cataloging, marketing, communication, as well as in relation to the open internet stack support for scale, which is exactly the next topic. That's it for this data 02. And now we can go to the next slide, please, which is precisely this open internet stack support for scale, which is a support action. It's what is here at stack is that it's easy to have a fragmented landscape in open source. So this CSA is an important budget, is 4 million euro, precisely intended to bring a common approach and a hub in order to avoid this fragmentation. And this will means that this hub will be this topic will bring a project that will be a hub for cataloging, for the package of solutions, for reviewing and validating open internet stack components and projects. It will ensure tools for looking at long-term viability with advisors on open source sustainability and maintenance model, including business and foundations. And it will promote the establishment of open source foundation in the EU and associated countries. It will provide a common branding, marketing, training, and communication plan. That's very important to ensure that those solutions are visible, ensuring a consistent perception and scale up. And it will closely interleave with policy development through a dedicated policy sandbox. So yeah, 4 million euro, it's a significant budget. Applicants, in terms of scope, should devise a plan. The work program is relatively precise for cataloging the solution in a structured and easy to discover way. Perform security and accessibility audit. That's very important. People want to rely on secure software. Then to make sure that we are able to screen and select the open source projects that have been funded. So it's a kind of stamp that has been receiving EU funding. And exploring relevant Horizon Europe program and devise a strategy for Open Interstack to become a central hub for this solution. Next slide, please. Continuing on the scope, what we expect is that the applicants will define the mechanisms for links and mutual support with other initiatives. There are many of them, including at national, at multi-country, and at pan-European level. So the applicant should demonstrate their knowledge of this context and establish a synergy and links. Sustainability is essential. Again, for profit or not for profit, it doesn't matter. It has to be addressed in a proposal. Standardization, license schemes, and localization, internationalization of the software is not just a software for a member state, it's for all Europe. Elaborating a common branding with associated tools for communication and marketing. Develop the training material. It's very important to make sure that people will be able to understand what the solution is. This is important for people that are adopting the solution or consider to adopt. Identify what technology providers could be the promoter of this technology. So linking with service provider, integrators, large companies, OSPOs, governments, and the OSPOs in verticals. Develop the sandbox tool. As mentioned, we need to make sure that there is a smooth compliance by design between the Open Internet Stack and policies in general. And finally, supporting the long-term sustainability of the award recognition of careers in open source. So that closed the presentation, and I think there will be a Q&A just afterwards. Back to you, Maria.
Thank you very much, Jean-Luc. We will conclude this destination by inviting Kimmo Rossi to present the topic on efficient and compliant access to and use of data. Kimmo, the floor is yours.
Thank you and good morning. This topic responds to the data union objective to enhance availability of compliant and high quality data in general. It also addresses the current and urgent political priority of simplifying regulation, easing the administrative reporting burden for companies so that they can concentrate on their main business, serve their clients, become more competitive, more innovative, and more successful. This topic complements several earlier compliance topics funded in the last 5 years. So now we cover the entire life cycle from drafting of regulation to the enforcement and day-to-day compliance with regulation and legislation. You may have heard that the EU has an ongoing legislative project which is called the Digital Omnibus that will simplify and consolidate legislation, especially the digital legislation, for more coherence and less overlap. But even after this, the European digital legislation will be complex and hard to comply with, and there will be new regulations coming in. So with this topic and with the earlier compliance topics, we hope to make compliance even easier, to reduce administrative burden further by digitizing and automating regulation, integrating it with the usual business environment and systems that companies are using. With this topic, we look for practical and goal-oriented projects, innovation actions, producing complete qualified systems, so reaching technology readiness level 8 at the end of the project. So we are not targeting a research project in this topic. This topic is divided into 2 scope areas, 1 and 2, that you see at the bottom of the screen. Now, applicants should clearly indicate in the proposal abstract and in the main body of the proposal which of the 2 areas the proposal addresses. This is important to be fair, to give fair evaluation to your proposals and to also know what kind of experts we should assign to evaluating your proposal. If your proposal addresses both areas, 1 and 2, you should, however, indicate which of the 2 areas is the main focus of the proposal. So area 1 is mainly compliance technologies that automate data transactions and key regulatory processes, reducing administrative burdens and facilitating seamless adherence to EU rules, integrating regulatory technology to the whole life cycle of compliance, and many other things that you can find in the work program description. Area 2 is more focused on enabling technologies in data management systems that automate key data processes, such as data curation, metadata tagging, ontology management, labeling, annotation, data quality control. In this area, it's also possible to target synthetic data. Next slide, please. Previous topics that you see in this first bullet point have been funded under Horizon Europe and Digital Europe program already. They have supported various different aspects of compliance. Actually, we started supporting them already in Horizon 2020 with the privacy-preserving technologies. Now it's important, since there's a rich heritage, that you should not duplicate these earlier projects, but you should smartly build on and extend and integrate their results. Also, liaise with the Data Spaces Support Center where it is relevant. Now, a reminder that this topic implements the European Partnership in AI, Data and Robotics, known as ADRA, but you don't have to be a member of ADRA to benefit from EU funding from this topic. This topic comes with the participation restriction that only applicants in EU member states, Norway, Iceland, associated countries and OECD member countries can participate. and this also goes for the companies that are so the restriction also applies to control. So if a company located in EU is controlled by a non-eligible country, that company cannot participate. Finally, don't trust this very brief, this very compact presentation. Please read the work program carefully. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kimmo, for your presentation. We will now proceed with the questions on this first destination. We invite all of you to join Slido, either by scanning the QR code or by visiting the website of slido.com and using the event code. To facilitate the process, I would like to kindly ask you to use the topic code in front of your question in order to be sure that we address it to the appropriate speaker. Okay, I see we already have two questions, maybe a couple of them. Of course, while we read the questions, feel free to continue adding more. I will start with the first question. How many projects are expected to be funded for each area? I would give the floor to our speakers.
Well, if I start, you can see that when you look at the budget and the indicative size of projects, it's easy to conclude that either we fund 2 large projects around 23 million, or we could fund maybe 1 large project and 2 smaller projects, depending on the breadth of the proposal. So you should size your proposal correctly. The area is quite large within which you can move, depends on the content. Then I see that the second question is to me as well.
Kimmo, I would suggest, if it's okay with you, to allow Jean-Luc to respond to the first question first, and then you can go to the second. Jean-Luc, the floor is yours.
Yes, so for, I guess it's in that case, Data 02, we plan to fund between 2 and 3 projects. And they are not necessarily linked to areas, because the work program mentioned that applicants should cover 1 or several of the areas that are mentioned, or 3 areas that are mentioned.
Thank you very much to both of you. Let us now go to the second question that indeed addresses Kimmo. Would the project working with courts to apply AI to reduce paperwork be in scope for this call, Kimmo?
In general, this topic is not sector specific. So any sector is fine if it responds to the requirements in the work program. So that's why I said at the end of my presentation, read the work program carefully. And if you think this idea replies to the requirements, reducing the reporting burden and the administrative burden for companies so that they can more easily cope with all the compliance requirements, then it is possible. You can also target the public sector, so it's not only private sector that you can target. So maybe in this area it would largely target the private sector. It is also possible, but please read the requirements carefully. There are many of them, and it's important to be aware of all of them.
I see we have another question. Thank you very much, Kimmo, for responding to the previous one. It is again for you. In case there are 3 projects, how are they distributed among area 1 and 2?
This entirely depends on the proposal. So this is why we say, please indicate in your proposal if you are targeting area 1 or 2. You may think it's evident from the proposal, but many proposals want to do a little bit of 70% in area 1 and 30% in area 2. This is why we ask you to indicate it. Now, the selected portfolio, which areas will it, the 2 or 3 projects that we select and fund, which areas will they represent? That entirely depends on which are the top 2 or 3 proposals, the highest scoring proposals. It may happen that all the 3 best proposals address area 1. We hope this will not happen. We hope there will be at least one for each area. But this we cannot always tell, so there is a certain risk. So it depends on the quality of the proposals, and we fund the top proposals, and that's the only thing that matters is the scoring. Then of course the coverage. Well, when 2 proposals have equal scores, overall scores, then the coverage of topics may come into play also in resolving tied scores in the ranking list, as you can read in the general annexes of the work program.
Thank you very much, Kimmo. I see that it is very important to really study the call. There is another question for you related to terminology. When mentioning spatial data, it remains to geospatial data. And also regarding the mention of continuous policy learning, is that policy referring to regulations or instead to the learning policy of the data-driven feedback loops?
Spatial data, you mean space data? I don't think we are targeting any particular type of data like space data from satellites, if that's what you mean. I don't think that's in the work program. Of course, it is possible to address geospatial data, but read the work program requirements. Don't invent your own stories, and I don't know where this comes from. What we really are looking at is regulation in general. So being compliant with regulation and using data technologies to automate that compliance process. That's the core of the topic.
Thank you, Kimmo. We see that we have another question for you. If the proposal is the development of a technology for Area 1, do we need to also have someone related to policy to ensure efficiency of the regulatory process and compliance?
Okay, so this is about what kind of competencies you need in the consortium, and it's obvious that if for example you are addressing in area 1 regulatory technologies like how to automate the drafting of laws and at the same time making them machine readable, then it's of course necessary to have administrative and legal experience. It goes without saying. So you should cover in your consortium, because this will be evaluated in criterion 3, all the competencies that are necessary for the area. And also, if you're targeting a particular application area like manufacturing, then you need competence in that area. It's good to have a manufacturing partner company in the consortium.
Very good. Thank you very much to both of our speakers. I see that at the moment we do not have any further questions. I would like to remind you that you may add your questions on any destination, always defining to whom this question addresses, throughout the duration of the event today. At the moment, we will take a break of 10 minutes and we will be back at 9:50 Brussels time. Thank you very much. Hello everyone, welcome back to our info day. We will continue with the next destination on achieving open strategic autonomy in digital and emerging enabling technologies. We will have this session in 2 blocks. The first one will include 3 presentations. We will start with the first presentation on the Apply AI pilot of the Science for AI pillar of RAISE, Resource for AI Science in Europe. Our key speaker is Miguel. Miguel, I will give you the floor.
Thanks a lot. Okay, so I will start presenting the first topic within the destination achieving open strategic autonomy in digital and emerging enabled technologies. The next slide, please. So the title of the topic is Apply AI, Pilot of the Science for AI Pillar of RAISE. the resource for AI science in Europe. I will start with a very short introduction on RAISE. RAISE is an initiative from the European Commission that aims to set up a virtual institute to support research in AI science. It will provide funding on excellence, will provide computational power, research funding, and data. My colleagues will explain more details of the initiative in a later topic. Next slide, please. So, what are the expected outcomes of the topic? The main expected outcome is to set up a network of excellent AI labs in the European Union and associated countries that will raise visibility regarding European AI research. We would like also to establish a model of cooperation among these labs and support the development of a strategic research agenda for research in artificial intelligence. As indicated, RAISE will be a virtual institute, so we would like to ensure that this network operates as a virtual institute across Europe, pooling resources and expertise. RAISE will have a Science for AI pillar and an AI in Science pillar. This topic focuses on the Science for AI pillar, but we would like also to develop synergies with the AI in Science efforts in RAISE. And finally, we would like to stimulate and support world-class research in artificial intelligence, both fundamental and applied research. To achieve these expected outcomes, we suggest 3 dedicated activities. One is an ambitious strategic research agenda towards the next frontier in artificial intelligence in 5 years. Another is the coordination of the participating institutes and the research in artificial intelligence. And lastly, the implementation of our class artificial intelligence research program. Some relevant characteristics of this call: the indicative budgets are 17 millions. The EU contribution per project will be 17 million, so we expect only to fund 1 project. The type of action is a research and innovation action. So this topic is not only about setting up the network, but also to perform and implement significant research in artificial intelligence. And the trials will start at 2 and it should achieve 4 by the end of the project.
Thank you very much, Miguel, for your presentation. We will continue with our next speaker, Karim, who is going to present the thematic networks of excellence for AI in science, the RAISE pilot. Karim, the floor is yours, please.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. And I'll build on what Miguel has said. So RAISE is the initiative pushed by von der Leyen. We have published the Apply AI strategy and AI in Science strategy back in October. The basics of the strategy are no surprise: excellence. Excellence. You may recall that up to 2017-18, Europe was leading in terms of the volume of articles and the quality of the articles, and then it has lost ground, in particular to China, which is coming very strongly in the last 5 years, and we are at the same level, more or less, in terms of articles with the US. In terms of compute, we are upgrading the gigafactories. Data is also some key aspect of AI, and Europe is home to very high quality data in certain domain like health or climate, but they are scattered, and the idea would be to put them together. And about the funding, that's what I'm going to talk today. So we can go to the next slide, please. So what is RAISE? As Miguel said, it's a virtual institute, or even it will be like several layers of a virtual institute with the thematic networks. There will be a secretariat. It just started, I think, in January. And there will be an advisory group of experts that will advise on where to go and how to go to for RAISE. What does it offer? Will be a series of network connected with them. And the idea is to go beyond the project itself, is actually how we can tackle the whole field by connecting all those networks. How does it work? The secretariat will create the connection, interaction between the network of excellence, probably by creating some working groups that will address the entire field. Next slide, please. In practice, The network of excellence will be made of nodes of excellence center, but the idea also is that they spread excellence towards other centers in Europe, and so that they provide access to compute or data. And there will be call for proposal stemming for raise in the future, like the ones that will be discussed today. Next slide, please. So just a reminder that we started in Horizon Europe in the work program 25. We had a call for 30 million about foundation models in material science, climate change, and pollution agriculture. And we had also a CSA, which is called Science with A, and I've put the website there. And the idea of science is to become, at least in the transition period, the Secretariat of RAISE. In 26-27, in 26, we have the course that I will now discuss, and we also have a doctoral network, sorry, in the type of Marie Curie, which is also for 2026 with a budget of 30 million. And in 27, there will be an attempt to try to see how the virtual artificial world can actually control the physical world with the automated lab topic that will come in 27. Next slide, please. So here are the topics that I will present now. I just want to recall that these two topics are actually the same, exactly the same topics. It's just that the domain is different. The one finishing by 01 is for material science. It has a budget of 15 million and it's from cluster 4. And the topic finishing with 02 is for agriculture and environmental science. It has a budget of 13 million and it's from cluster 6. It's actually not 13 million, it's 12.8 million. It will use the lump sum and it's going to be a research and innovation action. And the key aspect of this topic is that they should be laid by the domain scientists. It's a kind of attempt to go towards specialized AI as opposed as something too general, but how we can beat AI specific to the field. And we believe that the best place to understand the field are the people leading the domain, so they will have a key role into this network of excellence. Next slide, please. So in terms of expected outcome, we would like the network to address the strategic challenges of the field, attract and connect talents, establish cooperation between the members in terms of data, expertise, and even compute. By that, we will create a European AI and scientific community, and it's expected to work very closely with the Secretariat Science in order to reach and collaborate with other thematic networks. Next slides, please. In terms of scope, the proposal should provide a scientific agenda and the challenges of the field, not only the project, spread excellence beyond the network, and we'll explain how, and work on standards and benchmark, and if possible, make the resource, model, and data available to the community. Next slide, please. In terms of horizontal activity, the network will be able to use the financial support to third parties tool in order to either spread excellence, how the network can spread experience to other networks in Europe, or to bring a complementary expertise that is not present at the moment in the network, and each beneficiaries will be able to get some 60,000 euro. Those beneficiaries must be in the member states or an associate country. And of course, as always, the social science and humanities are welcome in order to understand the impact in the real life once deployed. And I'm done. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Karim, for your presentations. They were very insightful. Just like in the previous session, we will now continue with the questions. Dear participants, you are all invited to submit your questions via Slido, and we can take some time to address them to our speakers. You can scan the QR code, you can go directly to the website using the event code. Okay, so I see we already have a few questions. Let us go through the first one. Is it necessary to combine agriculture and environmental pollution in one project, especially since they were separate topics in the related industry call? I think, Karim, this question is for you.
My understanding is yes, they want to bring together both of them, but I will ask cluster 6, and if you don't mind, I would prefer to make sure that I'm correct in that, but I would think that it's a yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Karim. Let us go to the next question. It is again for you, Karim. Does this call include forestry? Sometimes it is included when talking about agriculture.
I would think so, yeah.
Okay, this is very good. Thank you very much. Please, participants, feel free to submit your questions if there are any. Let us wait for a few minutes. The QR code is available. The website is also there. Well, I see that we do not have any further questions, so I think we can proceed with our next topic. Okay, let me share my screen.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, always continuing on the same destination, on achieving open strategic autonomy in digital and emerging enabling technologies, we will now proceed with another cluster of presentations. So the first presentation is going to be given again by our Miguel, and the topic is next generation AI agents for real world applications in the apply AI sectors. Miguel, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Maria.
You're welcome.
Next slide, please. Okay, well, as Maria has indicated, I will going to present the topic next generation AINs for real-world applications in the applied AI sectors. First, to provide a bit of context, and as you probably are aware, we are currently in a technological revolution regarding artificial intelligence with the development of large foundation models and chatbots. The next wave of this technological revolution seems to be AI agents that are AI systems that are capable of showing autonomy towards the achievement of certain goals that are defined in a generic way. There has been significant advances in the last few years, and the topic is really moving very fast with new applications and new capabilities appearing almost monthly. So we aim for this topic to be able to collaborate and push in that direction. The expected outcomes are two. The first one is the improvement in the autonomy, robustness, and reliability of AI agents through advanced planning, memory management, and reasoning capabilities. Here, we're aiming to improve the technological aspects of AI agents through advances in these areas. Another expected outcome is the development of innovative multi-agents frameworks and protocol demonstrating effective collaboration among multiple AI agents. In this case, what we are looking is to develop frameworks and policies that we allow AI agents to collaborate in the achievement of a certain goal. We indicate in the topic several potential research areas, but we want to indicate that as this field is moving in a very, very fast pace, we are open to new approaches that show promise. For example, potential research areas are enhancing AI agents' autonomy through advanced self-planning and self-optimization capabilities, memory-augmented AI agents to facilitate robust long-term reasoning and lifelong learning, enhancing agent performance in tasks requiring accuracy and reliability through external tools,
Thank you very much, Miguel, for your presentation. We will continue with our next speaker, Cem, and the topic is Challenge-Driven Generative AI EU Booster in Apply AI Prioritized Sectors. Cem, the floor is yours.
Good morning, everyone. So I'm just, the slide is not the correct one. If you could move the slide, it is the Gen AI booster, I believe, that should be shown. So this topic is about challenge-driven Gen AI booster in Apply AI prioritized sectors. Just to give you a bit of background, this topic was in the work program 25 and the procedure was cancelled because of an issue that was related to fairness of the applicant. So it has been republished and we have redesigned it a little bit, but I will explain it from scratch. What we want here, the expected outcome that we want to achieve is significant technological progress and innovation through a challenge-driven approach in the field of aerospace, pharma drug development, and telecommunication networks. So the most important here to retain with that first sentence is that it is about the organization of a multi-stage competition to reach significant development by the use of Gen AI technologies in those three sectors that are mentioned. We'll have one project of each for each individual sectors that will be selected, one in aerospace, one in pharma drug, one in telecom. The second expected outcome we want to achieve is increased competitivity and visibility of the Gen AI community in Europe, demonstrating their capability to achieve challenging tasks within the sectors that I just mentioned. And the third one, increased adoption of Gen AI in these sectors through tangible progress and achievement demonstrated with the challenge-driven process. Just also to give you maybe the reasoning behind this multi-stage competition, the idea is to reach quick progress by organizing this multi-stage competition. So we want to make quick progress using Gen AI in those sectors. The key areas of research and innovation are the development of pool sector-driven Gen AI use cases. For aerospace, what we can achieve, we have examples here, but it is just few examples. You can have many others. Using Gen AI to optimize aircraft design, to streamline manufacturing processes, or to train pilots, etc. You can, whatever challenge you can address using Gen AI in the aerospace sectors is can be addressed with that call and that topic. Gen AI for pharma, for instance, Gen AI can be used for molecular design and for drug discovery. Gen AI for telecom, We can use GenAI for network management, network optimization, and network slicing. Again, here, the objective of the project is to design this competition, to design then selection criteria, which challengers will be selected based on which criteria. And to be also very much important in that topic is that the challenge should be real world challenges. This is why industrial involvement from those sectors is very much important. To give you an indicative budget, we have 45 million in total. Each project will have around 50 million. So one in each sector, 15 in aerospace, 15 in pharma drug, and 15 in telecom. It's research and innovation action. Start TRL 3, achieve TRL, the target TRL is TRL 6 by the end of the project. Next slide. This slide is to explain you a bit the multi-stage scheme, multi-stage challenge scheme. So this scheme is repeated 3 times, one for each of the sectors. We have end user industry that is defining use cases and challenges to be resolved within the sectors. And selection criteria, they open a call to all participants in step 1. We have challengers that are competing. At this stage, they do not receive anything from the project. And then the 20 best at the end of this first stage, the winners will get 250K as FSTP, financial support to third parties, to prepare for step 2. In step 2, there is a new challenge with increased level of complexity, where the 20 selected solution from step 1 are competing again, and the winners get 2 million FSTP each to prepare for step 3. And step 3, the 4 best performing team are competing for the grand final. At the end, we have a winner, and the consortium should also design an exploitation plan and business support so that this solution can be taken on board for in the real industry. Visibility is important. Sponsorship, we want to attract here the best challengers to compete to make quick progress. Could you go to the next slide, please? I believe, yeah, it is here. What type of stakeholder we want to see? I will go quickly for that. Of course, we want sector leading companies in each of the individual sectors because they are defining the challenges that the industry is facing. And those are real challenges. We are not expecting the challenges for research and development. Research and development should be driven for the needs of the industry. This is why it is important to have those industries within the consortium. We want organizations that have experience with FSTP and competition. You have seen that we have a huge amount of FSTP to be distributed, so we want also some experience with FSTP management. Experts in evaluation and exploitation, partners to be able to support visibility exploitation and impact maximization. Something important to mention here, this topic is subject to Article 22.5 restriction. You have a list of countries that can still participate from the associated countries. They have been positively assessed. But please be aware that this list may increase because we may have additional countries that can be added in this list. You have to check the final list of countries that are eligible if you want to know the exact list. Regarding the ownership control assessment, it will be performed by the EC for the beneficiaries, but for the FSTP recipients, it will be waived for SME and private entities and replaced by a simplified check. For instance, we have the beneficiaries should ensure that such entities are not directly majority owned by entities established in non-eligible countries. So what those directly majority owned is more than 50% of the capital. You can go to the next slides.
With our speaker, Sam, we will continue to another topic, which is on Apply AI, next generation agile and intelligent robotics platforms for industrial and service applications. Sam, please go ahead.
Thank you. You will have me for 2 other topics now. I hope you enjoy still my presentation. So this one is more for robotics, and it is linked and implementing Apply AI strategy in robotics. As my colleague Miguel said, Apply AI is about developing and deploying AI solution in 10 industrial sectors that are critical, and the public sector and AI in science. But we also have robotics within that, and this call is about that, implementing Apply within robotic. We have a number of projects that have been selected for having general purpose AI, the brain of robots. And this goal is about having general purpose and agile modular robot bodies. This is more about the bodies of robots. Now that I have introduced a little bit where we have that goal in the overall policy, I will go to the expected outcome. So what we want to achieve here is novel robot design techniques, materials and control techniques for flexible and meticulous manipulation of robots in unstructured environments with high autonomy and collaboration with human. We want here the next generation of flexible and safe robot systems validated in key applications defined in the Apply AI strategy, developed with a human-centric approach. The key areas of research and innovation, we want here agile robots, cost-effective robots. When we see what happens in the world and that some region of the world are providing very cheap robots that are very much autonomous and intelligent, we want also through that call to achieve that cost effectiveness. We want those robots to be modular platforms, to be easily configurable and reconfigurable. We want them to adapt in dynamic industrial and service environments. Advanced design techniques and methods using non-rigid structures, composite material, and innovative actuation is also covered by this. What we want also the efforts to be directed to is high speed, precision, reliable in operation with minimal integration efforts. So it should be easily integrable with other robotic components, other robotic systems, and other digital systems. It should integrate advanced multimodal sensing, touch proximity, and vision for safe human-robot interaction. And it should integrate interoperable communication protocols, enabling deployment across multi-agent and digital environments. Some indication about the budget, we have here 25 million in total. 2 projects will be selected, between 12 and 13 million for each project. It's a research and innovation action. Start TRL is 2, and the target TRL by the end of the project is 5. I believe that's all for this topic. If you can go, no, we still have that, sorry. For the stakeholders, yeah, what type of stakeholders are mainly addressed? Who do we expect to have in those projects? Industrial end users from manufacturing, logistics, service, robotics, providing real-world environment to validate performance and applicability. So here, even if it is area, we want to be the solution to be driven by the end user needs and to be validated using their environments. We want robotics developers, SME and startup and research organization, experts in robot design, advanced material, actuation system, sensing, mobility and autonomy to be part of this project, experts in human-robot interaction, organization capable of integrating robotics into industrial and service workflows. Also teams working on secure, efficient communication protocol and interoperability with digital frameworks. And also some stakeholder that could have this vision about future exploitation and a path for that, scalability, commercialization, safety product approaches. Again, here I will not repeat what I said for the previous topic. Article 22.5 applies for that topic. We have some restriction on the eligibility. And we are expecting this project to coordinate with the topic we just selected at the end of last year that was about soft robotics. So we are encouraging these 2 projects that will be selected, or those to make some synergies with the project that will start in a couple of weeks and that was related to soft robotics. Next slide, please.
Thank you very much. We will continue with Cem and present the next topic, which is robotics for manufacture, advancing core skills through technical challenges. Cem, the floor is yours again.
Yeah, and this is the last one for me. So this call is also about robotics, also implementing Apply AI strategy. In the previous call, you have seen that we were talking about the body of the robots to have them more agile, multimodal, modular, etc., cost effective. Last year, we have been selecting projects that were about the creation and the development of a foundation model for robotics. So the highest level of brain to make robots multi-purpose. And that call here is about, once you have the brain, the body, is about to develop the skills of the robots. I'm just insisting in that it's not the skills of the people using robot here, is about the skills of robots. So the expected outcome is about advancing robotic skills. So high precision, autonomous pick and place manipulation, autonomous navigation in unstructured environments using robotics foundation models. So we have foundation models and we are using them to improve the skills of robots. And we gave some examples. Those are only examples. And this should be tailored for manufacturing. So the application area is manufacturing in that case. Creation of a comprehensive framework for general purpose and flexible robotic skills, development with industry relevant challenges, evaluation metrics, and success criteria. The second expected outcome is about facilitation of widespread deployment of robotics in manufacturing, especially SMEs, through modular, adaptable, and reconfigurable solutions built on robotics foundation models to meet evolving production needs. To give you general information about the topic, we have 18 million for that topic. One project will be selected. It's a research and innovation action, and it's the start TRL is 2, NTRL, the target NTRL is 5 by the end of the project. You can go to the next slide. So the key areas of research and innovation is the development of advanced skills using next generation AI, including Gen AI. So here we really want to go beyond what we have today, because those skills, manipulation, navigation, we already have, but now we have to go at the next level using foundation models. And it's not like pick and place an object that is always in the same position, always in the same object. It can be different type of object in different position. And we want robots to be able to make this pick and place in unstructured environments and with highly autonomous, in a highly autonomous manner. We want to boost robotic skills for manufacturing. So high precision, autonomic pick and place, autonomous navigation, human-robot collaboration. Something important to know, if you remember the Gen AI booster that I presented, this will apply also to that project, but this is the next slide. For the moment, I'm just explaining that. For you to know, we'll ask this project to launch 3 multi-stage competition in parallel and to make progress for these robotic skills, for these 3 robotic skills that needs to be improved. It should be industry relevant and it should be impactful skills. Something important to note in the use case, we should have, it's mandatory, automotive as one of the use case. And then other sectors can be also involved in that. Again, this project must be in charge of designing a multi-stage robotics competition. It should define the challenge, it should support and execute the challenge with selection criteria. You can go to the next slide. Here I will go a bit quicker because you already had the presentation of the Gen AI booster. Just we have some differences and I will maybe mention those. So here we'll have 3 competition in parallel. In the first stage, we'll retain the 10 best solutions and they will get 200K FSDP, financial support to third parties, to prepare for step 2. And in step 2, these 10 teams will compete and the winners, the 3 best one, will get 1 million FSDP funding. And then they will compete in the grand final and we'll have a winner. You can go to the next slide. The type of stakeholder we want to see in that project, we want to see leader user industry. As we say, those should be challenged to resolve needs of the industry, of the user industry. So it should not be fake challenges. It should really address a need of the end user industry. And we should have here automotive industry as one of the use case. It was mandatory. They should provide the use case, the data, and the validation environments. But because once we have the skills of the robots developed, it should be validated in the relevant environments. We could have either ideally several companies having the similar needs and genuine interest in the project, involved in the project. We can have robotics developers, SME, research organization, experts in robotic skills within the project, because they are the best one as well for defining the selection criteria, for evaluating the solutions. So of course we can have developers, robotics developers applying for the competition itself, but then they are not part of the consortium. They are third parties, but we also need those type of organization within the consortium for this selection criteria and for the evaluation. We want partners experience in robotic simulation, testing and deployment, and also visibility is very much important, international outreach as well. We want experts in dissemination, communication. And of course, as here as well, we have substantial amounts for FSTP. We need organizations that have experience with this FSTP management. Some additional information, Article 22.5 applies here as well. I'm not giving the details. It's the third time we are mentioning it for those topics within Apply AI. And we have, again, simplified ownership control assessment for the FSTP recipients, and the ownership control assessment for beneficiaries will be performed by the EC. And I believe that's all. You can just check to be sure.
Indeed, Sam, thank you very much for your presentations. We will move to our last speaker for this group of topics. I will invite Mark to present his topic on advanced local digital twins using AI for early warning and preparedness. Mark, the floor is yours.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this particular call. My name's Mark, and just like a few other colleagues, I work in the AI office. To give you a bit more background, the activities of the AI office go beyond the typical things that you've seen previously, as well as for smart cities and communities. We also address public good. I work in the team known as AI for Societal Good. And our goal is to address all stages of disaster risk management cycle. So thinking about urban preparedness and prediction before the disaster, forecasting and early warning capabilities for extreme weather, emergency response and humanitarian operations during hazards like wildfire and flooding. And we also have recovery and reconstruction activities after a disaster as well. Our work addresses both natural disasters and human-induced hazards. So to go into a bit more detail about this particular call for advanced local digital twins using AI for early warning and preparedness, due to global warming, the occurrence of natural disasters is increasing, and it is critical to accurately track the evolution of disasters to minimize impact and reduce damage and human casualties. The use of AI models can help predict disaster and evolution and quantify human and material resources. And our initiative on AI for Public Good brings together EU and international experts on AI modeling of disasters, crisis management, and in this case, specifically flooding. So the expected outcome for the call is to deliver innovative open AI models that urban planners can rely on to predict, respond, and mitigate impacts before the disaster occurs. This will enable proactive decision-making by running simulations and predictive scenarios for effective disaster risk management. The AI models are to be open, so they are transparent and reliable for urban planners to use. and also so that local communities and cities in Europe will be most able to benefit. You'll see a bit more about this in 2 seconds. Because the tools would also provide user interfaces that could allow exchange of some parameters that are important for urban planners to run simulations and mitigation scenarios. For example, to assess the feasibility of existing or proposed construction development that may be prone to flooding, and so instead recommend appropriate targeted mitigating strategies to reduce the risk of disaster. So as I mentioned earlier, to try and understand why they need to be open models, the nature of this call, the budget is 6 million, and we would therefore expect around 2 projects. So the EU contribution per project is likely to be around 3 million. This is an innovation action, and we expect to reach a high level of technology readiness from level 5 to level 7 by the end of the project. Our goal is for cities to be able to rely on mature technologies to run simulations and scenarios, harnessing AI for a sustainable urban future. If you have any questions, I'm happy to take these in more detail, either in the conversation in the question section or the chat, or please feel free to contact us for more details directly. Thanks very much.
I would like to thank all of our speakers of this session, Miguel, Cem, and Mark. Dear participants, I would like to invite you again to use the QR code or the website of Slido, adding the event code in order to address the questions to the speakers. I would also like to kindly remind you that you will always have the opportunity to go to the funding and tender portals where you can address additional questions, if any, in the future. We will also upload an FAQ in the upcoming days, again in the funding and tender portal. I already see a few questions as they pop up, so I will start with the first one. When the emerging two call refers to AI agents, does it mean only chatbot type system, or does it also include broader agentic AI components? This question is for you, Miguel, so the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. Not for sure. This topic is focusing on research on agentic AI. Is not only focusing on chatbot type systems. So any type of broader agentic AI components would be acceptable for the topic. For example, I mean, currently the latest trend are agentic AI systems for coding, and we have several very good systems that have been released to the market, so they would be covered. Other aspects for covering other aspects of the different verticals would be acceptable.
Thank you very much, Miguel. Let us go to the next question, which is also for you. When emerging two refers to the cohesion activities with ADRA, does this mean that use cases in these topics are expected to be essentially focused on robotics?
Not at all. First, ADRA is the public-private partnership that the European Commission has established with significant private actors. Is focusing on artificial intelligence, data, and robotics. So, not at all about. It's not only about robotics. The topics that are expected to be focusing this topic are supposed to be any type of agentic AI that has potential use cases. The basic research doesn't need to be associated to any specific use case. Can be just advances in memory, in planning, or in the collaboration between agentic AI systems. The use cases should be part of the apply AI vertical, but not exclusively. So for sure, we topics that are not robotics are not only acceptable, but we expect to have proposals that will focus on topics beyond robotics.
Thank you, Miguel. Let us continue with the next question. It is again for you. Is the participation of ADRA members mandatory or highly encouraged? And is it better to focus on fewer domains with deeper agentic AI demonstrations or on more domains with lighter use cases?
Okay, on the first one, there is no requirement, neither is highly encouraged to have members from ADRA. The topic indicates that there should be cohesion tasks and links to ADRA, but that doesn't mean that the consortium needs to belong to ADRA. So only that there will be some effort devoted to keep a link with ADRA. Regarding the second one, this is for the consortium to decide. The topic is quite ambitious. I mean, we are speaking about 19 million euros per project. So we expect to have significant advances on the research part and also on the use cases. Given that the topic, the TRL at the end of the project is expected to be 5, we don't expect to have releases to the market or operational systems, but for sure, we expect significant advances, not only on the research, but also on the use cases. That can be achieved in different ways, and I would recommend the consortium to focus on their stronger expertise.
Very good. Thank you, Mikel. Please tell us, is the inclusion of pilots necessary in the apply AI sectors?
The topic expects to advance research on agentic AI and also to use those advances in different use cases. We indicate in the title that this is part of the apply AI strategy. So for sure, I would recommend that some of the use cases are covered by the apply AI strategy. That is quite broad and there's a lot of different sectors, but for sure, you can present use cases that fall outside the apply AI strategy.
Thank you, Miguel. I will now move to Cem for another question. For a sector-leading industry, which would be the motivation to be beneficiary if most of the funding must be used to arrange the competition? Perhaps it would be more interesting in participating in an FSTP. Can you maybe provide some guidance to the people asking the question?
Maybe I was not clear enough during the presentation. The sector industry in the pharma, in aerospace, and in telecom sectors are not necessarily expert of AI. They are the using industry. So those are industry on those sectors that have challenges that can be resolved through GenAI solutions. So they are not necessarily GenAI developers. They have an interest in the design of the challenge, and they are potential users of the final solution or a few of the solutions that are developed through that challenge. So they are the user of the solution, and I believe they would be happy to have good progress addressing their needs.
Thank you very much, Cem. Please keep in mind you are always welcome to add additional questions through the funding and tender portal. I will go back to Miguel again with a question on eligibility. Miguel, are Japanese entities eligible to participate in this topic?
Well, this topic falls under Article 2020.5 regarding security restrictions on direct and indirect control. Right now, the topic text indicates, and I'm reading, that this is limited to legal entities established in member states, Iceland, Norway, and the following additional associated countries: Canada, Israel, Republic of Korea, New Zealand, Switzerland, and the United Kingdom. So according to the topic text, Japan would not be eligible. Having said that, I would recommend that the participant consults with their national contact point to confirm if there has not been any change regarding this issue. But according to the topic text as it was published, the only countries that are eligible are member states, Iceland, Norway, Canada, Israel, Republic of Korea, New Zealand, Switzerland, and the United Kingdom.
Thank you very much, Miguel. More information on the national contact points can also be found on the Horizon website and on the funding and tender portal. Let us go to a question for Mark this time. How many projects will be funded? Is it one project of about 6 million, as stated in the call, or two projects of about 3 million, as stated today? Our participant is asking for some clarification, Mark.
Hi, everyone. So the information that I have at the moment is that we are hoping for two projects to be able to be funded through this. Again, if that requires further clarification, then you'll see those answers available on the portal afterwards. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Mark. Indeed, an FAQ is available on the portal. Your questions can be directed there as well. Going back to you, Miguel, are proposals expected to address more than one research area?
No, proposals do not need to address more than one research area, but then again, the topic budget is 90 millions, is highly ambitious, and we will expect proposals with the same level of ambition. So for sure, it is completely acceptable to focus research on one area, but then the level of ambition needs to be commensurate with the budget.
Thank you, Miguel. As it is always advisable, please refer to the call, which includes extensive information. I will give the floor now to Cem again. Should each proposal, Cem, target only one thematic area?
We will retain one project for each of the sectors, either pharma drug or aerospace or telecom. So each proposal should target only one of these, and we'll retain for each of the individual sectors only one project. So do not try to address multi sectors. It's one project, one sector per proposal only.
Thank you very much, Cem. I think this is very clear. Let us go back to Michael. Michael, can you mention the applications domains required in this topic?
Well, there are no application domains requiring this topic as such. We are mentioning that this topic falls under the Apply AI strategy. What I can indicate are the industrial verticals that are covered in the Apply AI strategy. Those are aerospace, telecoms, energy, pharma, manufacturing and robotics, automotive, environmental forecasting, agriculture, healthcare, defense, and in addition, we have two cross-cutting sectors, that is the public sector and AI and science. But as I indicated at the beginning, these are not required topics. It's only that this call is under the Apply AI strategy. So ideally, it should cover part of the Apply AI strategy. And we would also recommend that potential applicants go to the Apply AI webpage and read a little bit about the strategy for better understanding how their proposal could fit into the broader Apply AI strategy.
Indeed, we can also mention that in the funding and tender portals, it is possible for you to read a series of information documents, including the work program, the strategy, along with the call. It will help and facilitate your understanding. Let us move on to Mark and address the next question to him. This topic is strongly related to the disaster resilient society destination of Cluster 3. Are there any synergies expected with topics of Cluster 3 from 2025 or the current work program, Mark?
This is a great question, and it actually points to a lot of our other activities in the team for AI for societal good. We are aiming for a strategy where things are not entirely standalone, and there are synergies and good opportunities, not only in the space of AI for public good and thinking about disaster risk management. We're also looking at opportunities where the outcome from some of these projects and innovation actions can contribute towards our activities in the policy area of international cooperation on AI. So in particular, you can think that flooding is not limited to Europe as a region or EU member states. And if the models produced are open, then it gives an opportunity for synergy with some of those activities in collaboration with third countries as well. So great question here, and yeah, we'll definitely pick up some threads from where there are synergies. Thanks.
Very interesting, Mark. Thank you a lot. The next question is also for you. How important is the scalability of solutions to financially constrained municipalities?
This is a very valid point, and it actually comes up not only considering when we talk about urban, I keep trying to tell my colleagues, well, yes, but what about municipalities that are regional and rural and less connected? The considerations are not only from those perspectives, but also from the point of view of funding for these innovation actions. We'd like them to be as close to the market as possible. You saw that on the call details, a high level of tech readiness. But we do often find that sometimes these activities can be constrained by funding requirements and therefore the EU contribution that may be possible, which limits the technology that might be able to be developed through these innovation actions. So the ultimate goal is to try and accelerate the progress and adoption of AI for these type of activities for disaster risk management. And therefore scalability, although it may be necessarily as part of this innovation action, deployed in urban municipalities that are necessarily very well funded, the ultimate goal of these type of actions is not to be limited only to those particular areas. So we are taking into account and consideration of, well, great, where the outcome from the project has been tested in one particular area, the model should not be exclusively restricted or constrained to that area. It should be possible to be deployed elsewhere. And that's the reason, again, going back to the point about open models, our goal is to try and increase the uptake of this technology in order to reduce human casualties and save lives as a result of flooding disasters. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Mark, for your input. I will continue with Cem and a question related to terminology, I guess. Your topic talks about robots, robotic systems, and robotic platforms. Could you please elaborate a little bit on these terms and explain what is the difference and the expectations per item?
The robots perform certain tasks. When we talk about robotic system, it's the integration of a robot for a solution. So it is integrated with other system and it's performing the solution. But here it is about what I try to explain it with in a simple manner. Robotics platform is the body of the robot. So we want the body of the robot to be modular, cost-effective, agile, etc. So it's about having those bodies of robots being developed for industrial and service applications.
Thank you very much, Cem. Let us go on with another question for Miguel. As we are talking about combining competencies in this specific call, could you please give us, Miguel, an estimate of number of partners from the vertical side? Are all of them industrial partners, or can application cases apply to the public sector as well? For example, as they mentioned, automotive, healthcare, and so on.
So on the first question, no, I cannot provide an estimate of the number because that depends on the beneficiaries and their expertise. So that's for the consortium to decide. On the second part, the applied strategy covers industrial cases, but also healthcare, public administration, and AI in science. And in addition, it could be possible for the proposal to cover other areas that are not covered in the applied strategy. So for sure, it can be top use cases outside industrial partners.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much, Miguel. Going back to Cem, would you expect an AI-based digital platform that improves design and control, or would you expect a new robot with enhanced capabilities on materials and control?
It's the second option. So new robotics platform with enhanced capabilities, but any method and approach to design those robotics platform, of course, may be necessary to have them. But the ultimate goal is the development of robotics platform itself.
Thank you very much, Cem. Going back to Miguel on eligibility conditions again, to discuss a little bit about ownership control declaration, okay, and whether this is required at submission time, or maybe is it only guarantee required after the proposal is funded?
I have to admit that I haven't checked the funding and tested portal, so I cannot confirm. Usually, the ownership control declaration is required at the submission time, but I cannot confirm it because I haven't checked the portal.
Okay, thank you very much, Miguel. As noted, please be reminded that there is an FAQ. There will be an FAQ on the funding and tender portal, and some of your questions might also be addressed there in the upcoming days. Let us go to the last question for the moment. This time I will address Mark. So scenarios resulted may be interesting, but the barriers to overcome to go from TRL 7 onwards are more on the policy side, okay? According to our participant who wrote the question, he's apologizing, as you see, sorry for being clear, but although open source is in place, the adoption by the administration involves contracts. So the question is, do you expect a business plan?
This is a fantastic question, and it leans on two things. First of all, tech readiness levels to try and be as close to the market from an innovation action, but also addressing the nature of open models. What do they actually mean? What is open source software and services as opposed to an open AI model? So with these two issues combined, we do value the considerations where we are not just looking at innovation from an academic perspective, but also trying to get something as close to the market as possible. So yes, inside the planning for a project in the proposal, it may be valuable and considered an opportunity to provide a product as part of the proposal to highlight that you are looking at these combined issues and therefore addressing the business plan of scale and how the technology may be adopted later.
Very well. Thank you very much, Mark.
Thanks.
I can see that we have no further questions at this moment, so I would like to take the opportunity to thank all of our speakers for their insightful... I see another question. Thank you very much. So the next question is for you, Tem, regarding the scope of agile robots. Does the call prioritize the development of new custom or should focus on advanced AI on top of COTS platforms? Not sure, Tem?
I'm not sure I understood the COTS platform here, but here it is about the development of agile robotics platform that could be reusable across sectors. So what is important is to make them easily be transferable to different use cases and different sectors. So it's focused on the platform as a whole, including the control system that has to be used to use those platforms appropriately. So it includes also AI, it includes control, but the development is also clearly on the platform, on the body of the robot as a whole here.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much, Sam, for your response. We have another question for Miguel this time. Are there expected more than one vertical sectors to be addressed in the same proposal?
The call asks for advances in research in agentic AI and also in the use cases associated to the apply AI and outside the apply AI strategy. It is perfectly possible for a proposal to present just one use case, but I would like to highlight again the ambitious budget that this call is presenting and that we expect a similar level of ambition in the proposals. So for sure, if the consortium believes that with just one use case, they will achieve that ambition, that is perfectly possible.
Thank you very much, Miguel. Let us wait for a few seconds in case there are any other questions. Feel free to address them in the funding and tender portal as well. I see nothing. Maybe we can end the session. I would like to thank all of our participants, all of our speakers for their insightful interventions. And also I would like to thank our participants attending the event for their very interesting questions. It was a very nice conversation. We will now take a break until 11:20 Brussels time. Okay, so hopefully I will see all of you later today. Thank you very much. Back, everyone. It is time to continue with our next session. We will continue discussing on the same destination, achieving open strategic autonomy in digital and emerging enabling technologies. And we will invite our next speakers to move over to the next topics. I will invite Christian to talk on grand challenge on quantum sensors for inertial navigation.
Good morning. My name is Christian Tretzker. I'm a policy officer in the Quantum Technology Unit of DG Connect, and it is my pleasure to introduce two of the three quantum topics. The grand challenge on quantum sensors for inertial navigation is the first one, and the second one is standard for quantum technologies, again, also a coordination and support action. And the third topic, which is large-scale photonic quantum computing platform technologies, which is a research and innovation action, will be introduced by my colleague, Avi, that is also online. The first topic is a coordination and support action, grand challenge on quantum sensors for inertial navigation, and is a first phase of a two-phase competitive structure that is supported partly by Horizon Europe with this call for a coordination and support action, and partly through the European Investment Bank under InvestEU. So the topic is divided in two phases. Phase one is this one here that you see on the screen blue. It's a grant. It is for about 4 months and 500,000 euros. We would like to select up to 4 companies, not 12 as written here. And during this phase, the companies are expected to produce and work on a technical and financial roadmap, and they may receive also the support from the European Investment Bank, InvestEU Advisory, to submit a proposal under phase 2. Phase 2, which is a continuation that you see here on the right-hand side on yellow, is a convertible loan. It is an instrument deployed under InvestEU. Companies may receive up to 30 million euros, and they have to give back the loan within 5 to 8, even 10 years. So this is patient capital that is invested into companies under InvestEU. And the scope of phase 2 is for a bankable deployment and scalability to real-world demonstration of the technical and financial roadmaps that have been developed under phase 1. The total budget is indicated on the bottom of the slide is 2 million euros. We expect to contribute up to 500,000 per project. So we expect to select up to 4 projects under phase 1. And under phase 2, we are expected to select up to 2 projects. So 50%, let's say, success rate from phase 1 to phase 2. Next slide, please. The expected outcomes. So now I'm concentrating only on phase 1, which is the one under Horizon Europe that we are discussing here. So phase 1 is a coordination and support action. So no research should be developed under the coordination and support action, only technical and financial roadmaps. And with this roadmap, evidence should be delivered for benchmarking and reduced scale of quantum inertial navigation systems. And the proposal should tackle one of the following categories: either category 1 of cold atoms or category 2 for chip scale quantum inertial navigation system. On the category 1, which is the cold atom, the idea is to develop long accuracy cold atom-based navigation system, which are co-designed with the end users and demonstrated on ships or on place, so airborne. The category number 2 is to create a chip scale sensor using defect centers crystals, so NV centers in crystals or warm atomic vapors for application such as satellites, airborne vehicles, and autonomous transport. This C-swap on the chip scale means that the chips should be targeted for low cost and reduced size and reduced power consumption and all these things. So optimize chips for these activities. The proposal should have essentially a mature enough system that will allow a credible benchmarking and realistic industrial road mapping, so that the project can do and build solid financial and technical roadmaps to better prepare for phase number 2. Next slide, please.
Our speaker will now move to a different topic on standards for quantum technologies, coordination and support action. Please go ahead, Christian.
Thank you for the introduction. The next topic is again a coordination and support action dedicated to standardization in quantum technologies. As quantum technologies are moving more and more towards industrialization, standardization is an important topic, and we wanted also to dedicate sufficient activity to standardization. Here we are using a coordination and support action, so a classical instrument for standardization activities to gather the community of standardizations around quantum technologies. The budget that we put forward is €1 million. We expect one project, so one project of up to €1 million. And the instrument that we're using is a coordination and support action. What are the outcomes that we expect from such a project? Well, standard development and adoption in the field of quantum technologies that are going to strengthen the leadership in quantum standardization of the European Union. We would like to boost interoperability of quantum technologies, reliability, and providing trust in quantum system, because if quantum technologies are based on standards, they provide trust, of course, to the end users and to the clients. We would like the project to deliver pre-normative standards and technical specifications, so not necessarily fully standard. So it's pre-normative and technical specification are very well accepted for this topic for quantum computing, communication, and sensing, which are computing, including simulation, which are essentially the 4 application areas of the quantum flagship in quantum technologies. With this topic, we also would like to enable strong participation of European actors, including startups and SME, which make up a big part of the actors that we have in quantum technologies in the European Union, and make them participate in international standard bodies like ISO, IEC, ITU, or ETSI and SENS-ENELEC, because these are European ones. So there is a lack of participation of European experts, and we would like to improve this through this coordination and support action. We would like to promote cross-sectorial interoperability through using shared interfaces, for example, in quantum computing, different protocols, for example, in quantum communication, use reliability criteria and benchmarking methods of the field. It is known that quantum computing has difficulties in finding good benchmarks, so why not giving attention to this in a sense of pre-normative standardization and technical specification activities? We would like the coordination and support action to provide support to the community, gather it together, so providing like guidelines, trainings, best practices in standardization activities to accelerate adoption of quantum standards. And we would like them to build on the European standardization roadmap that we have in different European bodies like SENS-ENELEC or ETSI, for and standardizing the results from the major European Union funded quantum project. There is a difficulty in bringing EU funded project towards standardization, and this coordination and support action must play a good role in attracting this European project towards standardization activities. And European standardization organizations are strongly encouraged to lead or be key partners in the consortium. So this is it for the second topic. I give the floor back to you for the third topic.
Thank you very much, Christian, for your interventions. We will conclude this part of the session by inviting our speaker, Paraskevi, to present another topic, large-scale photonic quantum computing platform technologies. Paraskevi, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Maria. Good morning, everyone. So my name is Paraskevi Ganotti. I'm also policy officer at the unit of quantum technologies of DG Connect, and I'm going to introduce you this topic on large-scale photonic quantum computing platform technologies. So with this call, we aim at developing scalable, modular, and interoperable photonic quantum computing platforms. And we want the winning proposal to tackle at least two of the two major technical roadblocks that currently limit the advancement of photonic quantum computing, such as the lack of deterministic high-efficiency photonic entanglement and loss-tolerant architectures suitable for fault-tolerant scaling, and the absence of a standardized integrated control stack combining photonic hardware, firmware, and system software with benchmarking across platforms. So the idea is to have essentially two phases. The first phase is to develop until 2028 an intermediate NISQ processor, fully stacked, validated by hardware-agnostic benchmark and hybrid photonic HPC applications. And the second phase by 2030 will be to deliver a full stack photonic quantum computer of 1,000 qubit with low gate errors. And this number that you see here is indicating quantification of high fidelity as it is described in the strategically sensitive industry agenda of quantum technologies. So on top of that, of course, we want the project to publish specifications for packaging, APIs, compiler interfaces, cloud protocols compatible with telecom wavelengths. And as now we are entering the era of industrialization and commercialization of the quantum technology, we want the project to demonstrate results through a major end user case. So this topic is a research and innovation action with an indicative budget of 10 million. We will fund one project, and we want this project to start from TRL 5 and achieve TRL 4, sorry, and achieve TRL 7 by the end. So this is from my side. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Paraskevi, for your presentation. It is now time for us to move to our questions for these three presentations. Dear participants, feel free to add your questions so that we can have a fruitful discussion, hopefully. Okay, I see the first question already coming in, and it is for Christian. The standards for quantum technologies topic lists associated countries, but does not mention the Republic of Korea. Could you confirm if entities from the Republic of Korea are eligible to participate, Christian?
Yes, thank you for the question. If I'm not mistaken, the text indicates OECD countries. So Republic of Korea is an OECD country, so in principle, it should be eligible.
Okay, thank you very much, Christian. Let us wait in case there are more questions coming up. Okay, I see that we do not have any further questions. I would like to thank both of our speakers for their intervention. Hopefully there will be further questions in the future in the portal. Thank you both very much. Okay, let us move forward to, okay, I see a question. Okay, this is very interesting. Christian, this is for you. Can you please confirm that phase 1 is a mono-beneficiary CSA targeting startups and SMEs? And can you also clarify what is intended with EU-owned startups?
Yes, yeah, that's it will take a bit of time. Phase 1, yes, it is a mono-beneficiary coordination and support action because the technical and financial roadmap that the company should develop is, part of the business case of a company and future activity that the company should develop. So it must be a mono-beneficiary grant. On the second question, what is intended with EU-owned startups? Well, this topic is a marriage between Horizon Europe and InvestEU, because the first phase is this coordination and support action, and the second phase is a loan provided by the European Investment Bank under InvestEU. The second phase is not guaranteed. Companies from the first phase must apply to get to the second phase, and this is not a step that is guaranteed. So there is a due diligence provided by the European Investment Bank, and if this is successful, companies can go into phase number 2. Given that this marriage between Horizon Europe and InvestEU, we must satisfy both eligibility conditions. And under InvestEU, only EU27, so EU-owned beneficiaries can participate, plus Iceland and Norway, because they have contributed to the InvestEU fund. So this is the eligibility condition of the whole thing. This being said, companies in phase number 1 can participate even if they are not, strictly speaking, EU27, but there is no chance that they can continue under phase number 2. I hope this clarifies.
Okay, thank you very much, Christian. I would suggest we wait a few seconds. Sometimes our participants type, so let us wait for a few seconds and then we will move on to the next group of topics. Okay, thank you very much to both of our speakers. Let us move to the final group of topics for the morning session. Let me share my screen. I hope it is visible. Okay, so I would like to invite our next speaker, Werner, to present networking and future photonics strategy. Werner, the floor is yours.
Many thanks, Maria. My name is Werner Steinhügel. I'm from the unit Microelectronics and Photonics Industry in DG Connect. And I would like to present you a CSA topic. So this CSA topic is called Networking and Future Photonics Strategy. Few words on the context. The CSA should support the work of the Photonics Public-Private Partnership, which has been established at the beginning of Horizon Europe. So what are the expected outcomes? As a CSA, of course, it should coordinate. The stakeholders in photonics, the broader European photonics ecosystem, and very importantly, create, together with the stakeholders, a roadmap, a strategic research and innovation roadmap. The other outcome is to engage across the photonics ecosystem and reach out to companies, to universities, to RTOs, to national platforms and end user sectors and strengthen their engagement. Then it's about aligning agendas, research agendas that exist at several places in Europe at different levels, at regional level, at national level, and EU level, and enhance coherence and look to see impact across different instruments. Then looking at the projects of the Photonics Partnership to help contribute to monitoring and to the achievement of key performance indicators. Next outcome is to increase the visibility of photonics as an enabling technology for many applications and for EU policies in the digital domain and in the green transition domain, in competitiveness and in technological sovereignty. Then very importantly, the CSA should reach out to other European partnerships for research and innovation and see where they can collaborate and how they can collaborate. So, and conceive initiatives to maximize synergies. And last not least, in the photonics ecosystem, there are many startups and scale-ups, so smaller companies who want to start or want to grow. And as a technology, deep tech activity, which requires a long breath over several years, it's always heavy and hard to get access to finance. So the CSA should help improving access to finance for the photonics community. That would be. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Werner. We will continue with you on a different topic this time. So let us move on with the presentation on strengthening the cooperation of semiconductor-intensive EU regions. The floor is yours again.
Many thanks, Maria. So on this topic, I have to say I am replacing my colleague Seno Tornasi. He's in the same unit, microelectronics and photonics industry, and in charge of this topic and the expert. I will try to give you at least a flavor of what is coming and answer any questions you might have. So here we are in the semiconductor domain, which includes also photonic chips. Yeah. And it's about the CSA, Coordination Support Action, which should help us with policies related to the CHIPS Act. I guess many of you are familiar. So the CHIPS Act has the objective in one sentence to boost the competitiveness of the EU players in semiconductors and to reduce over dependencies from other areas. And regions have actually an essential role to play in this endeavor because they implement semiconductor policy. Example is permitting. So if a new manufacturing site for chips is built, it has to get the necessary permits, and this is a lengthy process. Then skills, so that regions have quite a word to say to aggregate the skills which are necessary to do semiconductor activities and build clusters with suppliers around them. Please go back one slide. Thank you. The expected outcomes are the CSA should increase the cooperation between EU regional governments and any linked industrial clusters. It should help regions to do smart specialization in the semiconductor area. It should help creating a map of the regional semiconductor ecosystem in Europe, look at the value chains, connections, and identification of common needs. It should work on a joint strategy to link and strengthen regional semiconductor ecosystems, possibly linking this also with competence centers in the Chips for Europe initiatives, and provide an online platform which helps to exchange information on capabilities and best practices. It should guide potential investors and support new entrants who want to specialize in the semiconductor sector. Then quickly, next slide, please. The scope I do not really need to repeat. It's to make these outcomes work. So I rather look at which are the stakeholders which are mainly addressed. First of all, these are governments, regional governments of semiconductor-intensive regions. Then possibly also regional industrial clusters who are active in the semiconductor value chain, and then clusters, associations, networks, or regions that fit into this context. If country is not so large and has the competencies that normally lies within regions, also national entities would be addressed. That would it be, and I'm looking forward to your questions.
Thank you very much for your presentations, Werner. I will continue in the same destination always with our next speaker, who is Jean-Marie, and he will present another topic, fostering two-dimensional materials based emerging and enabling technologies. Jean-Marie, the floor is yours, please.
Thank you, Maria. And good morning to everyone. So this is a small topic which will result in the selection of one CSA. So the expected outcomes are, first of all, to maximize the impact of past and current EU funding investment in research and innovation in 2D material-based technologies. And the second expected outcome is to reinforce the related community in Europe. So the main scope of the proposal is to, of the selected proposal would be to provide support function to all the relevant actors in this domain of 2D material-based technologies. So, and then the call text give an example of such activities. So one of them, the first one, would be to contribute to maintain a dynamic community of the actors involved in the development of these technologies. It's also about facilitating research and innovation road mapping, innovation and standardization activities. So a set of activities around the industrialization of these technologies. Then it's also about providing support to maintain a European and global research and innovation and funding landscapes. So that's one of the possible support activities. And important also activities would be to help the community to amplify the communication and dissemination activities in the domain. So help all the actors involved to have more impact on their communication and dissemination. And finally, also foster interaction and synergy with national and regional initiatives, and also relevant partnerships, projects, and infrastructure. So it's a topic with a budget of 1 million. We will select one CSA. And yeah, essentially that's all what I sort of had to say on the topic, and I'm looking forward to your questions.
Thank you very much for your presentation, Jean-Marie. I would like now to invite our next speaker, Nicolas, to present the topic on AI improved advanced manufacturing and production processes in factories. Nicolas, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Maria. And could we have the next slide, please? So my colleague Antonio and I will present two topics that are jointly supported by the AI Data and Robotics Partnership with the Made in Europe Partnership for Manufacturing, for one topic, and the Processes4Planet Partnership for the Energy-Intensive Industries for the other topic. And both topics are two-stage calls, which will they open on the they have a deadline on the 17th of March for the first stage and the 13th of October for the second stage. And the first stage uses the blind evaluation, so the evaluators don't know in the first stage who the partners in the consortium are. The two topics are linked to the Apply AI strategy, which is the EU's overarching artificial intelligence strategy and marks another step towards making the EU an AI continent. The strategy addresses specific sectors, including engineering, manufacturing, and so on. And in these two topics, we address manufacturing and the energy-intensive industries. So let me start with the topic 51, AI improved advanced manufacturing and production processes in factories. It is a research and innovation action with a budget of 30 million and projects around 4 to 6 million. which means that 5 or 6 projects may be funded. And as it's a research and innovation action, they start from a relatively low technology readiness level and are to achieve readiness level 6 by the end of the project, which means a demonstrator in a relevant environment, a relevant industrial environment, but not necessarily in an industrial environment, which would be 7. So there is a twofold outcome. One is increased competitiveness and productivity through the use of AI optimization, and I will come to that. And also an improvement in sustainability, not only reduction of emissions necessarily, but also circularity. Now, how is this supposed to be achieved? The scope covers innovative and explainable AI solutions for manufacturing. And proposals are asked to address at least 2 of 3 elements or approaches. One is to improve efficiency and reduce impacts using modeling and optimization. The other one is to avoid producing defective parts or eliminate defective parts. We used to have dedicated topics on that, and correcting proactively defects in real time. And the third one is to maximize the fraction of recovered, regenerated components or material used in the manufacturing process, all using AI, including digital twins. For this specific topic, we use a portfolio approach to fund at least 1 project in the textile sector with a focus on complex functional and technical textiles. That doesn't mean that all proposals have to address this, but we will ensure that if there is a proposal that addresses it and passes the thresholds, then that proposal will be funded irrespective of the ranking. That is how the portfolio approach works. In next year, we will have a topic again bringing the AI partnership with the Made in Europe partnership to address human centricity. And I remind you in that context that in last year we had a topic on human centricity, but next year's topic will have a bigger emphasis on AI and human centricity. That said, if a consortium, if proposals were to include human centricity in this topic, in this year's topic, 51, it would not be out of scope, provided, of course, that the main elements of this topic, the optimization of processes, is addressed. And this brings me to the end of this topic. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nicholas, for the interesting presentation. I would move forward with Antonio to present the last topic of this session on innovative AI methods and technologies for the process industries. Antonio, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Maria, for the floor, and good morning, everyone. I hope that you can hear me well. My name is Antonio Fernández García. I'm Policy Officer in the Directorate General of Research and Innovation from the Unit Industrial Transformation, and I'm the person responsible for R&I in energy-intensive industries. My colleague Nicola already made the introduction of this area, so I'm going to continue with this topic. That is the 53, as introduced by Maria, Innovative AI Methods and Technologies for the Process Industries. It is a research and innovation action with 30 million to fund about around 6 projects from 4 to 6 million. Activities are expected to start at TRL 4-5 and achieve TRL 6 by the end of the project. The expected outcomes are in the slide, so I will explain the scope. This topic is focused on harnessing the power of AI in the process industry by enhancing design, operational efficiency, and innovation speed. Advanced AI enable adaptive and creative solutions beyond traditional applications, optimizing all life cycle stages from design to autonomous operations, and helping supply chains adapt quickly, boosting innovation and competitiveness. However, we need to take care of its reliability, security, and trust to ensure effective and responsible AI use. For this topic, the proposal should produce dedicated innovative AI-based solutions for the process industries. And one of the following scopes, one of these three. The first one is a more effective and faster development of new materials and processes. The second, competitive and sustainable production, reducing the negative environmental impact of industry. And the third, reduction of risks for the health of the workforce and for the environment, and making workplaces in the process industries more attractive. In the projects, user acceptance and training of the users should be taken into account. This topic is also linked to the Apply AI strategy. Therefore, proposals should seek collaboration with relevant initiatives. The proposal should include a business case and exploitation strategy. And the topic implements these two co-program European partnerships. The first one is Processes4Planet on energy-intensive industries, and the second one, AI, data, and robotics. So please take a look at the strategic research and innovation agenda of the partnerships. With that, I thank you for your attention, and I give back the floor to Maria. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Antonio, for your presentation as well. We will now move forward with our questions. As always, feel free to scan the QR code, go to the website and use the event code. We are here to discuss on your questions. Let us wait for a few seconds until people type. Okay, I see we already have questions. So let us start a little bit. The first question addresses to you, Nicholas. Could you please clarify the expected role of AI factories, TEFs, and the innovation hubs in this topic? Should they be formal consortium partners? What is the expected level of engagement within piloting activities?
Thank you. So let me first remind you that this is a research and innovation action with reaching technology readiness level 6, as I said, so industrially relevant demonstrators. So it encourages an engagement with, for example, AI factories or the digital innovation hubs in the process of bringing results closer to deployment. It is optional. The spirit is that this might happen towards the end of the project or even afterwards, and it is certainly not mandatory to include such partners, but of course, a consortium could profitably include such a partner in order to achieve the scope even of in this research and innovation action. So it's perfectly legitimate, but it is not mandatory, and the encouragement refers mainly to an engagement with regard to the use of the results, without, of course, excluding participation.
Thank you very much, Nicholas. Let us move to the next question, which is also for you. Could you please elaborate on the optional scope related to address the conditions for implementing the novel AI solutions within an organization structure and value-creating models? What exactly are you looking for here? And how optional versus advisable versus must be is this?
Thank you. So this is somewhat related to the previous question. Again, it is an option related to the eventual deployment of the solutions. So a consortium could do this by dedicating some effort to doing exactly what it says in the topic, to look at the conditions for implementing the solutions. It could engage with digital innovation hubs or the AI gigafactories. And optional does mean optional. You will not be penalized if you do not include it. In any case, in general, in the scope of a topic, when you see should, then that is something that we expect. It's not a legal expectation, but if you see should, it means that you will be penalized. You can expect to be penalized if you don't do it. But if you see optional or encouraged, that is just a suggestion that may make your project more effective, but is not compulsory.
Thank you, Nicholas. I think the next question also relates a little bit to could, must, and so on. So, can or must they be beneficiaries, the two-stage AI factories, data labs, DEFs, and innovation hubs? Can or must?
Can. So they need not. I will not say must not, of course, because they can, but they need not. That is what I was saying in the context of the previous, the first answer.
Very nice. Thank you very much, Nicholas. Please stay with us. The next questions are also for you. Is enough to have a textile use case along with other sector use cases to be considered in the textile portfolio?
Yes, that is a good question. We very often see that the given manufacturing technology can be applied and is applied in within a single project to more than one sectors. Now, for the purposes of the portfolio approach, what we say is that the focus needs to be on the textiles. So it is conceivable that you will have a project that is focused on the textiles, but also develop some technologies that may be applicable anywhere elsewhere, and that it may even use this technology within the project for some other application that is possible according to the wording of the topic. But the focus must be in the textile sector, and in particular complex and high-tech textiles.
Very interesting. Thank you, Nicholas. Going back to linguistics, is the development of robotic and metaverse technologies mandatory? The question is this time for Antonio.
Thank you, Maria. Good question. So I will clarify a little bit the difference between expected outcomes and scope. Projects have to do what is in the scope, and then the outcomes should follow if the results are deployed. Therefore, projects have to show how they will contribute to, if the project is successful, to the deployment of the results, and this will help to achieve these outcomes in the future. I think that this can clarify a little bit these differences.
Thank you very much, Antonio. Indeed. I will go back to Nicholas again. We have a question for you. I think it's similar. Is the use of digital twins mandatory?
No, it is not. It may well be used in the context of developing the AI models. And I mean, in practice, if you are developing an AI model in a way, you are dealing with a digital twin, I suppose. But no, it is not mandatory.
Thank you, Nicholas. Antonio, I will come back to you again. Is cybersecurity of the proposed AI system a necessary part of the expected research, or is it sufficient to deploy vanilla cybersecurity solutions during system integration? The topics test explicitly flags security alongside safety and reliability.
Yes, as the question already highlights, one of the following scope is the reduction of risks for the health of the workforce and the environment, and making workplaces in the process industries more attractive. So cybersecurity is not directly mentioned, but it could reduce the risk for the workforce. So it would be up to the proposal to actually explain what is the innovation behind what they are proposing for the workforce, and in particular for the energy intensive industries processes.
Thank you, Antonio. Going back to Nicholas, agentic AI and language learning models, are they within the scope of this call?
Yes, they are.
Very good. Thank you very much. Staying with you, Nicholas, is it possible to include robotics as a part of the project activities within this call, or applicants should focus exclusively on the digitalization of the manufacturing process and robotics would be considered rather out of scope?
So yes and no. So the topic is about processes. So the emphasis of this topic is not on robotics, and we have had other topics. using robotics in manufacturing. That said, robotics, if it is part of the solution, the AI solution to optimize processes, then they would not be out of scope, but they are not, of course, the main part of the scope, and they cannot be the only part of a proposal. If it is only about robotics, then it would be difficult to see how the processes would be optimized at factory level or system ecosystem level. But they are not out of scope.
Thank you, Nicholas, for the clear response. Antonio, I will go back to you. Are policy recommendations or standardization efforts part of the expected outcomes?
Yes, as I mentioned, one of the scopes is more effective and faster development of new materials and processes, and standardization is key for the faster development of materials. Also, policy recommendations are always welcome in all R&I projects, so I would say that is part of the scope.
Okay, thank you very much, Antonio. Nicholas, the next question is for you. Would you please share how many participants should be in a project? What types, industry, academia, and so on, can entities be included of the same company or group of companies that located in different countries?
Right. That, of course, is a general question. As you know, there are minimum rules for the minimum participation in a collaborative project, and those apply here. Now, what type of stakeholder? All our topics are not prescriptive about that, but obviously all these topics are about bringing results closer to industry. So it will be very surprising to have a successful consortium that does not include industry. I have never seen it in my experience in manufacturing. It is theoretically possible. And of course, academia and research and training organizations also play a vital role in the Made in Europe partnership and in practice in funded projects. But other than that, there are no rules, certainly not about the number of participants, only an indicative size of the project.
Thank you for also sharing your valuable experiences. Let us move forward with Antonio this time. Is it acceptable to foresee OT and IT integration only for the specific OT components presented in the project's pilot scenarios or trial, or a more generic OT and IT integration solution is expected to be built into the proposed AI systems?
It is up to the proposal to demonstrate the added value of their solution. The topic only says integration into the IT landscape of the company should be taken into account. So I would recommend that the proposal just explain what would be the added value for the process industry to have this kind of integration, specific or more generic.
Thank you very much, Antonio. Let us move forward with the next question, which is a broader one and can address more than one speakers. In a two-stage call, can a project partner that participated in a consortium which applied at the first stage and was unsuccessful to submit an application, together with another consortium that successfully passed the first stage under the same call?
Yes, that can happen because a consortium that is successful in the first stage could modify somewhat their participation as long as they achieve the same objectives that they outlined successfully in the first stage.
Okay, this is very clear. Thank you very much. The last question at the moment is also for you, Nicholas. Having just a single use case on textile, is it okay, or would you expect several use cases?
No, not necessarily. The topic does not say that. It mentions a focus on textiles, so it could be a single case.
Okay, thank you very much, Nicholas, for this response. I would suggest that we wait for a couple of minutes, maybe, as questions are typed. We have another one. Again, this is also generic. Can first stage total budget be slightly adapted in the second stage? And implementation is not part of the short proposal and lump sum budget. It's quite articulated that it is likely to be more precise on the second stage. Sometimes something is generic, then it becomes more concrete.
Yes, that can happen, that in the second stage there is inevitably a more accurate assessment of the budget. And indeed, the implementation is not addressed as part of the first stage evaluation.
Thank you very much, Nicholas. Let us wait again as people might be typing. To remind you, an FAQ will be uploaded in the upcoming days, and you may also add questions in the FNT portal.